Hello, everyone. Great to see you all trickling in as we are kicking off our XPS webinar. We have got an awesome session for you today. Really excited to kick off this exciting event, excited to talk about this really great product, and we've got a great team on the call with us as well. So let's dive in. Just a couple Zoom reminders here. So this webinar is being recorded. All of our webinars are recorded and posted on the DTUC site. You'll also receive a follow-up email with additional resources. The Dell team that's with us today has also shared resources, so definitely check those out. And if you have any questions, we're going to utilize the chat today. So I see some hand raises here, but if you have any questions, please utilize the chat box or the Q&A function, and we'll be addressing those as the presentation continues. And don't forget to participate in our post-event survey. We really appreciate your feedback. That helps us shape our programming and our webinars for the future. So that will be coming in an email as well. So definitely be sure to take that and you can win some DTUC swag. And then now I'll hand it off to Ryan Brown. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us today. And we also have some other Dell folks online as well who will be able to support us from a Q&A standpoint. So I will hand it over to you.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Good to see some Midwestern folks in the chat. I hail from Michigan. I'm representing a little Michigan sunset behind me. So love to see that. Good to see everybody on and excited to talk to you today. As I get this pulled up, I work on the XPS product group here at Dell. And that means that every day I get to think, breathe, work on amazing, amazing products. So let me make sure I get my share right. Is everybody seeing my slides? Kirsten, is that looking all good?
Yep, looks good. Okay,
perfect. Thanks. So I'm joined, as Kirsten mentioned, we have some others from our team. Sam Castell and Amanda McKnight are also on the call. They're also on the XPS product management team. They'll be helping answer questions and in the chat. And yeah, as we go through today's presentation, I'm grateful for them to have them in my corner. So with no further ado, what are we talking about today? So we'll be going over what is XPS generally within Dell. Also talking about some of the new and exciting innovation that's happening in our portfolio. We'll be deep diving on some specifications and some use cases, and then we're going to go open it up for questions and answers at the end. So when you look at XPS, where it sits within Dell, really we're centered within three brand tenets: customer experience, design, and innovation. And we have customer experience there at the center because we're driven to provide the highest, best, most excellent customer experience that we can. We focus that experience on use cases and personas to tailor design across our portfolio for specific personas. That customer experience is bookended by our design and innovation tenets. So we focus on design. It's a key tenet of XPS. They're crafted for XPS computers. We focus on the premium materials that go in. We want a customer and an XPS user to be able to see and feel the difference. It's not just another Wintel or Windows computer. We want customers to feel some pride and feel some excitement about owning an XPS product. And we spend a lot of time focusing on the details of our products. If you haven't noticed, that's something. If any of you are XPS customers or users out there, I'm sure you've noticed that high attention to detail. And then the final tenet of XPS is innovation. When we look at our XPS products, where we sit within the Dell product portfolio, we are able to take some risks with XPS, do some innovative things. Groundbreaking technologies at Dell often start with XPS. Back in 2015, we started with the Infinity Edge display, and now you've seen that kind of roll out into other product lines at Dell. Similarly, we have increased the battery density. Things like higher density batteries start in XPS and kind of trickle out. Haptic trackpads, new and innovative interfaces. We see XPS as kind of the lead vehicle for innovation in especially the consumer space for Dell. And when it comes to technology focus areas, here are just four. We focus on many more than these, but front of screen experience is a key one for us. we put a lot of resources into our screens, our keyboards, the touch interfaces, everything that someone interacts with when they sit down at a computer, we pay a lot of attention to. We also try to strike that balance, and it's really a knife edge balance between performance, battery life, and power, giving customers that the best that we can. It's a tricky balance. You can't get everything. Not everything's perfect. We in XPS feel like we do the best job we can to get as close as we can to balancing those three kind of performance related aspects of a computer. And then we focus our designs on sustainability, of course. This year, our XPS products are made of more recycled content, the actual content that's going in them, than ever before. Our packaging remains being made from 100% recycled or renewable material, and all of the packaging is 100% recyclable, which we're proud to say, like, hey, you get the box in the mail, you can recycle the entire box after you open up your XPS. We also focus on exciting, fresh, innovative interaction experiences. Again, like I mentioned earlier, our seamless trackpad, capacitive touch function row, bringing exciting features to our products. This is our current 2024 XPS portfolio. We had a big refresh in February of this year. We launched at CES even earlier. So we were and are very excited about this new portfolio. Quick overview for anybody who hasn't been kind of following the brand. On the left is our most portable and lightweight and really road warrior worthy product, our XPS 13, designed for mobility. It prioritizes that thin and light aspect. In the middle is kind of our tweener product, our XPS 14. This is still designed for some mobility. However, we also have the option with the XPS 14 for an optional NVIDIA RTX 4050 graphics card, giving creators who are on the go or power users the opportunity to have a graphics card in a really slim and small form factor while maintaining the beautiful XPS design. And then on the right, you see our XPS 16 product here. This is really the granddaddy of them all, you could say, our supercharged performance box. The XPS 16 is where you'll see the highest graphics card availabilities. You can get up to Intel Core Ultra 9 processors, and it's almost 2 times as powerful as the 14. Really, our flagship product is that XPS 16. We're excited, across this portfolio. We have innovative and same looking fit, finish, and materials. They all look the same. They share that same design language that speaks of premium, performance, and really exciting. We've had it called the laptop of the future, and we're proud of that. I want to take some time today. I think many of you are excited to hear about a new our product portfolio, which is our XPS 13 with Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite processors. We are super excited to bring this to our XPS 13, to our XPS portfolio, and specifically on the XPS 13. This new version of the XPS, it maintains the best parts of XPS 13, things like, hey, our thinnest and lightest XPS ever, while adding in the incredible performance and efficiency that Snapdragon SoCs bring. New and exciting AI experiences. This is the PC for the multitasker, the road warrior, that tech-forward PC user. We're super excited about it, and I'm going to spend a lot of the next several minutes and slides speaking to this product and some of the great things that are enhanced and opportunities we have with this Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite version of our XPS 13. So that's really what's new. So just kind of talking about the chip a little bit. If anybody's maybe you've been living under a rock and you haven't heard, but Qualcomm Snapdragon processors have come to the PC space, and we couldn't be more excited. Qualcomm Snapdragon, though, has multiple processors. It has Plus variants, it has Elite variants, and even within that Elite categorization, there are multiple, you could say, SKUs or different chips with different power settings and capability. So within the XPS 13 space, we're launching with the X Elite, the highest level chip, with the E80-100 chip, which is a 12-core version of Qualcomm's system on a chip. That ships with 12 cores up to 3.4 gigahertz. dual core boost up to 4 gigahertz. It's a powerful processor. Additionally, we have in that system on a chip the Qualcomm Adreno GPU. This is our integrated graphics, Qualcomm's integrated graphics solution. It offers up to 3.8 teraflops of graphics performance. And then we also have what's really exciting is this Qualcomm Hexagon NPU. It's an AI dedicated NPU. It offers an incredible 45 tops of local AI performance. That means you can run multiple AI apps at the same time without taking hits to the system performance or battery life. We're super excited that these chips are scalable. They're not limited based on things like vPro or other gating items that we've seen on other products. So lots of availability and applicability for these Qualcomm chips. Additionally, with our XPS 13 lineup, we have a new display option, tandem OLED. So within the XPS 13, you're able to get 3 screen options from an FHD plus screen. It's kind of our entry level screen, but it offers really good battery life. We have a quad HD touch screen, and then we have this new tandem OLED touch screen. With our XPS 13 line being targeted for creators and power users, having accurate screens is a high priority for us. So when you look at and think about accuracy or best screen experience, OLED screens generally have better color accuracy than LCD displays like the FHD and the Quad HD. That's because OLED the pixels are self-emitting. They can produce their own light. You get perfect black levels, infinite contrast ratios. And then with the LCD, on the other hand, they require that backlight to produce the light, and it can interfere with some of the color. While it does offer better battery life, you don't get that amazing screen experience. So we're excited and happy to offer multiple screen options. Personally, I am most excited about this tandem OLED option here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it here over the next couple slides. It's tandem OLED is a new technology that offers a lot of improvements over older OLED displays. It can last twice as long in terms of lifetime of the OLED display. In addition, it saves battery life. The panel itself is 40% thinner. It's 30% lighter. And that's just the panel, not the whole system, but we see those size and weight savings rolling on into our product weight, so we get even thinner and lighter when it comes to OLED. Talking more about the actual technology behind the tandem OLED, the reason this new technology achieves the results we've just shared on the last page is that it actually stacks 2 organic emitting layers on top of each other, so you can achieve twice the brightness while also having that longer lifetime. So on the left here, you see the tandem OLED. On the right is our kind of you could say traditional OLED or a current OLED. So instead of glass, there's that film layer underneath the cover glass, which helps the whole panel get thinner. There's those multiple emissive layers. So tandem OLEDs have those 2 layers stacked on top of each other, and that design actually increases the efficiency of the display, higher brightness, longer lifespan for the same power input into the panel. And there's higher efficiency with that too, because there are multiple layers. It can achieve higher luminous efficiency for the same amount of electrical power we put in. Think of this, they can produce more light compared to that single stack OLED. And so there's lower power consumption across the whole panel, which is really a big deal with OLED, because we know from a lot of data out there that the panel is a huge power suck, suck for the system's battery. And so improving that OLED experience allows a lot of battery savings, 10%, while giving higher brightness and really a better experience than we've seen before on OLED. So wanted to especially take some time to talk about that. We also offer on XPS low blue light solutions. So and we built those right into the hardware. And if anybody is not familiar with low blue light can actually be has been proven to be a little bit damaging to the eyes, and I think there's data out there on that. And so there are several solutions that manufacturers take to address this. You see in the top left here. On the left is represented a software solution, things like a night shift or a night mode. You might see this on a phone or an iPad or something like that, where it actually will change the colors to reduce that blue light. However, for a creator, which XPS, we're positioned for those creator enthusiasts, power users, like I mentioned. If you look at that screen divided on the top left, you lose a lot of color accuracy, and it's almost impossible to do good color work when you're implementing a software solution like that. For XPS, we implement a hardware low blue light solution where the color accuracy is maintained while that blue light is blocked at a hardware level. So in that picture on the top right, you can see our XPS 13 OLED compared to a MacBook Pro and our XPS 13 FHD screen looking through a blue light lens that the MacBook Pro actually lets a lot more blue light through. You can hardly even make out the XPS 13 OLED because that hardware-based blue light filter is so good. And then here are just the full specs of our displays. So we have our top of the line tandem OLED panel on the left, offers an amazing 254 ppi, up to 525 nits of peak brightness, and that 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio that's so awesome about OLED. Then kind of in the middle, we have our Quad HD touch panel. It's still our brightest panel. It gets up to 550 nits of peak brightness, and it still has high PPI, 225 ppi. This is an LCD panel, so we're able to get battery savings additional from a variable refresh rate that goes from 30 to 120 hertz. And then finally, we have our entry-level panel, FHD Plus, non-touch. It gets 169 ppi, 500 nits of peak brightness, and then it offers also that variable refresh rate of 30 to 120 hertz. Okay, I want to take some time now to dive into the specs, some more specs of the product. So XPS 13 with Snapdragon X Elite. Firstly, can't hammer home enough the fact that we're featuring the X Elite chip with 12 cores, dual core boost. This is that E80 chip. So of the 4 Elite chips, this is one of the higher two. We've built the system to give us up to 25.5 watts of sustained performance. Well, again, while maintaining that thin and light XPS form factor. We're seeing amazing battery life results from this. 27 hours of Netflix streaming in 4K and 30 hours of HD local video playback. Again, just mind-blowing numbers when it comes to the efficiencies that we get from that Snapdragon SoC. I just spent a bunch of slides covering our screen, so I won't spend more time there. I do want to plug the Snapdragon chip gets us 45 tops of AI performance. We have our 1080p webcam. In prior versions of XPS, that webcam was just HD at 720p. So again, you're going to see a lot better webcam performance from our new generations, the whole new portfolio. It's not limited to just this product, but you're going to see a lot better webcam performance on our new models. XPS 13 can be configured up to 64 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory. It's some of the fastest available. And then alongside Wi-Fi 7, this really lets you future-proof your device to have something that's going to be amazing and quick and snappy and has that new PC feel for a long time. On an admin level, we offer physical TPM 2.0 on all devices, all XPS devices, and that's been standard for several years. We get questions about that a lot, but yeah, we do have physical TPM 2.0 on our products. We also offer chassis intrusion alert. We ship to 196 countries in 19 different languages, and we come in 2 colors, platinum or graphite, which is really kind of a light silver or kind of that dark gray. Okay, pause here, and then everybody take all these specs in. I'm going to move on. Talk a little bit about the webcam. So our new FHD webcam on our XPS portfolio, it's a significant enhancement. It's designed with really our customers' needs in mind. We heard from a lot of you, hey, we heard you. The webcams weren't good enough on our older XPS products. So we put effort into building an amazing FHD webcam experience that gets you great picture quality. It still offers the IR face recognition to let you do Windows Hello. It offers Windows Studio effects. And we did all this while maintaining a really small bezel, that infinity edge display that we were famous for at XPS. We've maintained that while also including this great webcam. So we're excited to maintain that slim form factor while giving a better webcam experience. Sustainability-wise, XPS 13 is made of at least 20% recycled materials. Again, this is things like the plastics and the aluminum and the glass. We've been pushing our suppliers and working on our supply chain to really up our game at Dell and deliver an amazing sustainable product. And we see that across the board at Dell, not just at XPS. the actual carbon. We've reduced the carbon footprint of the whole material by 88% by using recycled and low emissions aluminum. We ship with Energy Star 8.0. We meet the highest criteria with EPEAT Gold, Climate Plus designations, and this means that we've met the industry's best practices for decarbonization. And then, as I mentioned before, we ship in low impact packaging. Packaging made with 100% recycled or renewable material. It's 100% recyclable. XPS 13 ports. When it comes to ports, we still offer 2 USB Type-C full function ports with this 40 gigabytes per second power delivery DisplayPort. We find that our customers love having these ports on both sides of the laptop. It allows a user to plug in power from whatever direction is convenient or comfortable, or whatever your situation might be. I switched from an at-home setup to a work setup, and honestly, I plug my laptop in a different side depending on where I'm at. It's on the left when I'm at work, it's on the right when I'm at home, just based on the situation. In the shipping box, you'll see that we have the laptop, the country-specific power cable, 60-watt power adapter for XPS 13, a USB-C to USB-C cable that plugs into that power adapter and then can power your device. Pretty basic, but wanted to go over that. Okay, now I want to talk about some use cases, some of the exciting things that we get and see with our Qualcomm SoC here. I know a lot of you are excited about this, so wanted to take a little bit of time to deep dive. So this is really an evolution of processing now with the Qualcomm chip, where we have a CPU, a GPU, and an NPU, and I should say a powerful NPU, all built onto the same SoC. We've seen SoCs before. We're really seeing amazing benefits from having these all combined. Allows us to focus on, have those different pieces of the chip focus on specific tasks faster and with more efficiency. So this is a visualization, and I think, sorry about that. Yeah, so want to kind of help break this down. So in the Snapdragon SoC, first we have the Orion CPU. And CPUs, as you well may know, are versatile. They handle a broad range of tasks really well. So they can provide the computational power to run your OS, to run your web browser, make everything feel snappy, keep everything, your office productivity apps. This is where a lot of your CPU processing is going to go to. Then when you look at the GPU, we have this Adreno GPU on the SoC, and this is where the graphical rendering happens for creativity apps. If you're editing photos or videos, that GPU goes to work. If you're streaming and you're able to use hardware accelerated capabilities, you'll actually see the GPU come in and go to work with that. And with the Adreno GPU, we see it's a strong integrated graphics performance. We're excited about having this SoC in the portfolio. And then, probably most exciting, I guess, we have the NPU. So with Qualcomm SoC, we have the Hexagon NPU. It's built right into the SoC. For anybody who doesn't know, NPU stands for Neural Processing Unit. And it's this piece of the chip that offers a lot of power savings for some of the specialized AI use cases that are in market and that are upcoming. So things like Windows Studio Effects, voice recognition, image processing, other Microsoft features, they heavily rely on that NPU processing. And we've actually seen this demoed in our labs here at Dell, where you can take something like a Microsoft Teams call, and you start using effects like background blur. And with these new chips, the CPU remains relatively idle, while all of that background blur capability goes right to the NPU to handle that image processing work. And because the NPU is designed for that work and those use cases, you see a lot of battery savings for any of those AI workloads, or like I said, noise cancellation features, things like that. You're going to see a lot of benefit from having a powerful NPU built in. And then, with offering up to 45 TOPS, that is significant AI power. When you think about the thin and light system that the XPS 13 is, again, this evolution of having all three of these processors built onto the same SoC is really exciting. Now, XPS 13 is not the only PC that Dell is delivering with a Snapdragon Elite processor. Especially for the commercial space, we also are offering the Latitude 7455. So want to kind of just show a side-by-side here. These products are not the same. However, one product may be better for a specific use case. XPS, obviously, as I've spent a lot of time talking about, it has a design-first approach, really targeting that creative, premium customer somebody who is a road warrior who values battery life and front of screen experience most of all. Um, Maybe those in the upper echelons of your organization who influence and authorize IT purchasing decisions. That maybe an XPS 13 aligns to their preferences. We also on the Latitude side, we offer different and more of the Snapdragon chips. You can get an XPS Plus chip with 10 cores, or an XPS Elite chip with 12 cores. So more options in the Qualcomm lineup when it comes to that Latitude. Um, different screen options, different colors, different sizes. So lots of things to think about as you're looking at Qualcomm, maybe for yourself or in your organization. And also, want to talk about, hey, how do we compare against a MacBook Air 13? We think this is probably the primary competitor for our XPS 13 Snapdragon product. So there's a lot of great things to highlight here. First, AI performance and battery life are significantly better on the XPS 13. And then additionally, with that tandem OLED option, you get all of the benefits of OLED with that power savings that I mentioned. So really excited about that. And then from a form factor perspective, XPS 13 is smaller, lighter, and it boasts some cost savings for a comparable config. So I want to take the time to highlight this, and also to highlight on this next slide, when it comes to competing against Apple in a larger setting, maybe that's a commercial space, maybe it's for other customers, XPS is often the best bet. This walks through some of the use cases for when, hey, maybe XPS isn't the best, or what other products at Dell could be best suited. So I'll talk through this for a second. When competing against the MacBook Air, XPS is positioned to win in both performance and design, but it does prioritize. It makes some trade-offs of things like ports, other business class features that you might find in the Latitude series. When competing against a MacBook Pro, if your customer's priority is performance, professional graphics, ISV certifications, we really look to the Dell Precision line to stand in there. And XPS 14 and 16, those products I mentioned earlier at the top of the call, they're really an alternative if you want a smaller, thinner, lighter device with that more modern feature set. So just wanted to take a little bit of time here. This may be look like a complicated flowchart, but we really feel that when it comes to delivering products for our customers, whatever their needs or use cases might be, we have solutions across the Dell portfolio. So hey, thanks for your time and attention. I hope you're excited as excited as I am about about XPS generally, and about our new XPS 13 with Snapdragon. I'm happy now to answer any questions that are still outstanding. I know that Amanda and Sam have been doing an awesome job in the chat, so thanks to you guys. But I will stop the screen share, and yeah, let's take some questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. So we actually just got a question from John asking if there has been any design changes with the XPS cooling systems. He knows that heat disruption was a concern with some previous models.
Yeah, so with the new portfolio, we've redesigned everything from our thermals, from the batteries we use. We have higher density, larger batteries, and we focused on, again, it's that balance of how do you give performance while offering the best cooling solutions possible. So yeah, we redesigned everything from the ground up in 2024, and then with our XPS 13 with Qualcomm, you'll see additional thermal savings and power because of the efficiencies of the SoC from Qualcomm.
Awesome, thank you. We have another question in the chat. It looks like Sam's typing, but thought this would be good just to answer. This is from John. John is actually a trusted tester as well, so thanks for joining today, John. He's saying that he normally uses Latitude and Precision as corporate standards, and this seems to be more of an XPS Snapdragon sorry, I'm butchering this, but he's saying that it seems the more the XPS Snapdragon, will there be others on the Latitude and Precision line for more high-end users?
So as I mentioned kind of at the end, we have that Latitude 7455 right now. And we're evaluating all silicon providers from Qualcomm now to Intel to AMD for all of our products. That's a step in all of our product planning. So you'll look to the future for other answers. I can't speak to Precision or Latitude. We make those decisions as the needs and capabilities kind of catch up with what what we hold for our customers as high standards of performance, power, portability, front of screen experience. So yeah, look to the future. I can't speak to anything
Mhm.
now though.
And then a question in the chat from Jesus. He was asking if we will see any more 2-in-1s from the XPS models in the future.
Yeah, well, Jesus, happy to hear that you're looking for that. Um, we you know we again, like I said, we don't speak to future decisions or design. Right now, we have touch options on all of our XPS 13, XPS 14, XPS 16. We feel like that lines up best right now with our customer needs. So there are options for 2-in-1 products right now on the Latitude line. I know there's a Latitude detachable. So we'll see what comes in the future. But if you're looking for a Dell detachable, point you to Latitude right now. And I don't have that product number. Maybe Amanda or Sam could put it in the chat. But yeah.
Awesome. And then from Richard here, he is asking, broadly speaking, how does XPS line compare in price similarly to the SPECT Precision?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you'll not be able to compare across the board because, like as I mentioned on that last kind of really complicated jumble of arrows and product names and things, Precision is really our MacBook Pro compete. You're able to get the highest performance, and even if you have a like for like spec, say it's the same processor, right? Like you'll probably see that Precision is able to give that processor more juice, more power, more wattage, to enable even higher performance. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison. And when it comes to price, we see Precision is built for our professional users, our professional creators, those who are engaged in studio environments, who are, again, they have different needs than XPS. XPS is designed for that creator enthusiast. Um, they still offer powerful processors and powerful capabilities. No, I'm not, don't read this as underselling the capabilities of an XPS, especially that XPS 16. But you'll see that those use cases and power are kind of captured in the pricing. You can find the best pricing on Dell.com. So go there and kind of design a system that works for you. And I know that that our sales reps and our customer care, all of those support channels are going to help you get the best product for your needs and help you get that best price that works for you.
Awesome. And then we have a question from Lou. He's asking, are the Qualcomm CPU compatible with running virtual machines?
Lou, that's a great question. I am not up to speed on how well they run VMs. I do know that we're hearing really good things and seeing really good things on the emulation software out of our Qualcomm SoCs. So emulated apps are running really well. I'm not sure if that, again, not as familiar with VMs, so not familiar if that translates over as well. Again, this XPS 13 product, we're not building this for the engineers and the dev teams. If you're able to use it, great. But this is primarily, like I said throughout the presentation, a thin and light product designed for that road warrior, that multitasker, somebody who wants that amazing battery life that we highlighted in that small form factor. So if you need some other products for your dev team, would point you to maybe other solutions at Dell. And also, hope that you can find some other information on VMs. I don't have any of that at hand now.
Okay. And then we have a question regarding Snapdragon. Is Snapdragon on par with Intel processors? Since Intel has such a rich history with Dell, or is it on par in terms of quality?
Yeah, we're seeing really, hard to say on par is difficult. We're seeing excellent performance at lower wattages. If anybody hasn't, go out there and Google the thermal curves on Snapdragon X Elite processors compared to comparable processors from other manufacturers, even Apple's M series processors. You can see and expect to see really great performance for at a significantly smaller or lesser wattage. So yeah, we're very excited from our perspective on the capabilities of Snapdragon. I don't think it replaces, and by no means does this chip replace Intel across the lineup, or in many situations that Intel processor is probably going to outperform and give you what you need, especially as you're looking to scale up to more powerful applications. Intel Meteor Lake chips, the current gen, the Core Ultra processors right now have built-in NPU capabilities, but the NPUs in Meteor Lake are somewhere on the order of 8, and I could be butchering this, but 8 to 10 tops. So when it comes to an AI workload, with the Qualcomm chip having 45 tops, we're seeing significant performance that's able to happen on device, as opposed to having to go up and talk to the cloud, a cloud server somewhere for that AI use case. With a lot of the exciting Microsoft features to come, you're going to see that benefit of having an on-device NPU that can really make some of those transformative experiences happen quicker, faster, right there on your device without having to talk to the cloud.
Awesome. And we have a question about fan-based cooling. I know that this was called out in the presentation, but Michael's asking if the XPS 13 has a fan-based cooling system.
It does, yeah. XPS 13 does have a fan. Yep, it is fan-based.
Yep. Awesome. And then I see that we have another question, and that someone just raised their, it looks like they unraised their hand. We do have a question in the Q&A here from Deepak. He's asking, how does Dell XPS help to migrate big data infrastructure to hybrid cloud with modernizing Gen AI and IoT solutions without infrastructure cost? Don't know if you're able to answer this, or if potentially we could direct him to someone else to help him.
A great question. If you're tuning into our Dell Technologies World broadcasts or any of the news around that, Dell is partnering on the CSG side and ISG side. I would say partnering on the ISG side with our servers. We're partnering with NVIDIA to a high level. So we're trying to build that Dell AI factory. There's a lot of news around that. Unfortunately, that's not my world. I'm living in the world of laptops right now. So I would encourage you to go out and follow the news on Dell's overall AI strategy and business, and look to more information from those ISG counterparts of mine. If you're happen to sit on a webinar or have any contacts there, that is something that Dell is heavily focused on. And you see the focus on AI, from top to bottom, from our servers and the infrastructure we're building and the software capabilities there, all the way down now to the client computing devices that I've spent 40 minutes talking about today. We're focused on AI and delivering AI capability into the hands of our customers, whether it's a server customer or an end user.
Awesome. Sam, did you want to add something to that?
No, I think, Ryan, you absolutely nailed that. Great response.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, it looks like this is all the questions that we have in the chat as well as in the Q&A. But Ryan, just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. Actually, it looks like we got one more question. Sorry, I was just about to let you go there.
Yeah, let's go.
So we have a question from Richard. He's asking, how does Snapdragon compare performance-wise to a traditional x86-based processor? No problem.
Yeah, Richard, great question. And as I mentioned before, I didn't bring any of those thermal curves into my presentation today, but go out and Google. You can go Google them, just quickly find them. So you'll see performance, comparable performance, but at a much lower power consumption or wattage usage. So we're, again, comparing this directly against Apple's M architecture, which has been in market for several years. We're seeing you can expect to see that increase as Snapdragon. I guess we're from a Dell perspective, we're hoping that as Snapdragon and Qualcomm get more into the space, we continue to see those improvements. We know that, like I said, kind of at one point in the Q&A, we evaluate lots of silicon providers when it comes to building the best products for our customers. So whether that's an Intel solution, Qualcomm solution, an AMD solution, we're focusing heavily on optimizing for that performance and experience. Right now, we're really jazzed about what we're seeing with Qualcomm. So I would encourage you to go out, read some of the news that's out there. Try a Qualcomm device for yourself or maybe someone in your organization. Not to get too salesy here, but again, super excited about what we're seeing from the actual processor capability.
Awesome.
Okay, any other questions?
Any other
happy
last
to answer
minute
if I can.
questions? So we have Ryan here and our other Dell folks who thank
Yeah.
you all so much. Sam and Amanda in the background answering those questions for everybody. I really appreciate it. But again, thank you all for joining. Thank you to this team. As a reminder, this is recorded. This will be up on dtuc.com, and you will all be receiving an email with the link to that recording. I also just put the link to our webinar survey in the chat as well. So please make sure to take that survey. It helps us shape our webinar programming for future events, and you could win some DTUC swag on the way. So again, thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.